Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network.
Ah, yes. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. The show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but you can call me the Black Noir. Noir means black, so it's like black. That's why that's funny.
I was going to ask you what noir meant.
Or like film noir. Guy noir. I don't know. You're Captain Rest Assured. That's who you are.
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
Pretty good. Black.
That's the best black to be. I mean, if you're going to, you might as well go all in on it. You don't half-ass it.
When someone says, what kind of, you want a chocolate chip cookie? No, I say, I want a double chocolate chip cookie. I want black.
Right.
You know?
You want one girl in bed?
No, black.
Black, two girl in bed. I think we should...
Go back to back on blacks?
AC/DC needs to sing that song. Back to back with black and black. Don't you know I'm glad to be in front? I think we should do full disclosure to our fans.
Yeah. Let's just be straight up and honest.
That we are not in Air Force One tonight.
People have a certain level of expectation for quality when they listen to this program every week, and they should. We have set the bar very high, but let's just be straight up and honest with what's happening right now.
We are in a boat.
That's right.
That's taking on water right now.
Yeah.
Air Force One had some electrical issues.
I don't want to be crude right off the top here, but we thought we're in good standing with Obama. I think it was it Conrad that put together that Photoshop?
No, that was
Richard.
Richard, don't call him Dick.
And of us, because later we found out Obama he fucked us.
He fucked us hard
at the Air Force One, and it's coming through right now.
Right. So it's in the shop right now.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who had like a prop plane, and I'm like, we have too much equipment to put in there.
Yep.
And so a buddy of mine is like, hey, well, you can use my boat. We're like, cool, something a little different,
Change things up a little bit,
Sure.
little spice, varieties of spice of life.
It's the complete opposite of the whole synopsis of this show, but let's do it.
Right.
Little did we know, we got on board, we got stuff set up.
Your friend fucked us too.
There's water all over the floor.
We are taking on water. It's one of those
This
things.
is not a joke. We are taking on water as we speak.
We're trying to put our finger in the dike to stop it from coming in, but it's not working. It's just like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. You put a thumb in somewhere, and then boom, water come from somewhere else.
Yeah. But
we have a job to do.
We cannot let this stop us. We have fans that like 7 or 8 that every Monday morning wake up and expect us to provide entertainment for them, and that's what we have to do.
And if we don't, their day will probably be just the same anyway, even if we didn't.
Well, they'll be doing something else for an hour and 15 minutes.
Right.
So just let everybody know, if the sound quality is not excellent, or if it sounds like we're in the hull of a ship.
Because we are.
Taking on water, that's what's going on. So bear with us. Understand we're doing the best we can. We're doing what we can for you guys, the listeners.
The truth is we cannot do this show from the pilot's lounge, so we have to get out.
It's too loud. The strippers.
It's raucous.
It's very raucous. It's a raucous and a rollus.
There's too much going on in there, so we have to get out, which is why we always take a flight with you every Monday. Today's no exception, except that we are in a boat.
Yeah, so first-time listeners, welcome.
This is not the norm.
This is not the norm, but come on back, y'all. You hear?
Yeah, we got DSJ working tirelessly. First of all, instead of the golden cones, he put on you and I golden-colored life vests.
Right, we have life vests, and I'm glad we brought those, because at first I was like, we're not going to need these. We're not even going to leave the dock. We're not even going to untie it.
Right.
That's not the point. It's not the journey.
But here we are, knee-deep in the Mississippi.
I got my socks off.
That's right.
I got my pants rolled up.
That's what you learned in Nam, right? You got to keep your feet dry.
You got to keep your feet dry every day.
And that was just on a trip you took to Vietnam, and they were talking about you weren't in the Vietnam War.
Oh no, I would never be in a war.
You're a pacifist.
I had open heart surgery as a child, and there's no way any military would take me.
That's right. I mean, that and other reasons.
And now I'm 46 years old.
And you're a felon.
Oh, yes, a fill-in.
A fill-in.
I got tons of fill-ins. And I'm missing a couple teeth, and the rest of them are fill-ins.
And then you also fill in the seats at award shows when celebrities go to the bathroom.
Oh, all the time. That's how I make my extra money for this podcast.
Hey, it pays well. And you get to sit next to Christy Brinkley.
Yeah, except when I touch her and she gets all mad.
Then you have to fill in another seat.
Right. Like, is that Hugh Grant?
Is Hugh Grant going to take a shit? Let me go sit in his seat.
Well, when I was younger, I used to be a stunt double. I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
No, actually, I've never heard that.
Yeah, for Matt Dillon.
Oh, really?
I was a stunt double for Matt Dillon.
Okay, The Bodyguard. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
Were you in The Bodyguard?
Was Matt Dillon in there?
Or no, it was called My Bodyguard.
Oh,
It was where Matt Dillon was the bully, right? And then the kid who got picked on.
Yeah.
You were his stunt double in My Bodyguard?
Yeah.
I love that
Remember
movie.
when he jumped out of that car going 50 miles an hour?
Yeah, he tucked and rolled. That wasn't him?
No, that was me.
That was you?
Yeah.
Is that why you had open heart surgery?
No, this is well after
Oh,
that.
okay.
But, your body can only take so much. And, the older Matt got, the less we looked a lot alike.
Yeah.
I did some Cusack stuff early, too.
Okay. For what, like Say Anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were in Say Anything. Were you the jukebox?
I was holding up a jukebox.
Oh, from the back? All those back shots were you?
Exactly, because he's like, I can't hold this heavy thing.
That's to me. It's an iconic image of him holding it from the front. I like the shots from the back.
Thank you very
All
much.
these years, that's been you. I had no idea.
Yeah. I was in a stunt double for a couple of Brad Paisley videos, too.
That's more recent work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So, I don't know any of his
Me neither. I was just being polite. Me neither.
I can get on board with that. So what some of the work you did in the Brad Paisley video?
There was when he was fishing one time.
Yeah.
I was the one casting. It was a back shot of him.
It's dangerous, right? There's a metal hook flying about. Brad Paisley, he's got a beautiful face. You can't afford to ruin that.
Well, it's more about his fingers because he has, he's got to play the guitar real good. Me neither.
Is that one of his songs?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds terrible.
No, actually, it's a really good one. It's from his first album. It was before he got all corporate.
Now, Paisley is also what Prince liked, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Why do you think I think about lady stuff when I think about Paisley. Why would Brad Paisley? Why wouldn't he just change his name unless he changed that? In which case, why did he do that?
I think he wanted to attract the ladies.
Okay.
Like they feel safe listening to him with the last name Paisley.
What if I came out as
Jason Paisley?
I was gonna say Joey Lipstick.
Oh,
because the girls like lipstick, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of pedophile-ish.
Joey Lipstick. That sounds like a pedophile
or a mobster.
Or yeah, okay, I see.
Like Joey Lipstick sounds like if you went like on a rape spree. Mm-hmm. That's what like the CNN would put on the bottom
Joey
of the screen.
Lipstick.
Joey, they would tag you as
raping
Joey,
up the Northwest.
Joey Lipstick.
What about Danny Tampon?
That makes a lot more sense.
Girls like tampons because they use them all the
time.
time.
They like them because they have to like them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would love to be a stand-in for Danny Tampon sometime. Maybe I could double for him.
How do you put out a Kotex fire?
I don't know.
You tampon it.
Nice.
Thanks.
Nice. You want to high five that? High five.
Okay.
Let's go back to that. That's way better.
Okay. All right. We didn't high five for 2. I got an episode there.
Uh-oh. We have a lot of high fiving to do, and maybe we could do so over some fan feedback.
Fan feedback. One of my favorite parts of the show, actually the only part of the show that I have confidence in sometimes. And myself.
Oh, really?
I mean, you get it up.
And you do everything in the middle.
And then you bring it back down.
All
and those two things you do, I'm good with.
Okay.
But sometimes me, myself, and I, not so much.
All right. Well, I think you do a wonderful job week to week. I don't know why you second guess yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now it's just the whole like wanting to do it and then not doing it.
Yep.
So yeah, we have all kinds of fan feedback. You can get to us via Twitter.
Oh yeah.
At CouchPilotspod, Instagram Couch_Pilots_podcast.
Yep. Facebook.
You can send us an email like the old-fashioned way of doing things.
CouchPilotspodcast at gmail.com.
But most of all, our favorite, and I think probably the best decision I've made since we've been doing this podcast, the only thing I've done that's turned out to work right, is our dial-in number.
Yeah, 910-PILOTS-1. That's 910-745-6871. Call us on the hotline because it be blinging.
You like Drake.
Yeah, you like Drake.
You'll love this more.
Absolutely. You leave us a voicemail. We're going to play it on the show, and we're going to talk about it. I think we're going to do that right now.
We're going to do that right now with a voice we haven't heard for a while, but we love dearly. Voice we haven't heard for a while, but we love dearly.
Hey. It is Lori. I just want to say I love the shout-out, and thank you very much. It means a lot to me. I also love Conrad's shout-out. That was pretty cute. And I will be interacting more shortly once I take care of some, last-minute details. But thank you again, and we're going to make America great today by grabbing him by the pussy. Nanu, nanu.
I like that nanu, nanu. That was good.
Nanu, nanu.
Lori, you don't need to thank us.
We should be thanking you.
We thank you because you were one of the first interactors.
And most frequent.
And the prettiest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right now it's between her and Tyler, in my book.
He's got, like, personality pretty. You know what I mean? There's some girls you look at and you're like, she got a great personality.
She's leaning pretty hard on that personality.
That beard, I'm not so sure about, but that personality is good.
Nice. Well, yes, thank you so much, Lori. We always appreciate hearing from you. We hope everything's going all right on your end. And again, I think I said it once before because she had said it. I love it when a lady says pussy.
I know, right?
Right?
And then she said nanu, nanu.
That was pretty good, but when a girl says pussy, yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was like, lucky for Big Dick T, she wants to grab women in the pussy.
Yeah, that's good for him.
I mean, yeah, to me, that's like a win-win situation.
Sounds like he's going black to black.
Black to black, heartache, side-by-side tears. Okay, we got some more fan feedback. This comes from our Facebook page. Look us up at Couch Pilots Podcast on Facebook. Like us. You'll know what's going on. This comes from our good friend in Folsom, California, Conrad.
Love Conrad. Hey, there's a rule named after him, for God's sakes.
Exactly. Now, I'm trying to remember what episode this is from. Oh, man. No rules on this episode? I've been waiting for this moment.
What?
I think we fucked up one time. Interesting facts. 1, Blake sounds like a ducking puppy when he sneezes. Remember I had a sneezing fit in that one?
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that.
Supposedly on that episode, I don't remember which one it is, but we did not go through the rules. Interesting fact rules.
That's a big faux pas on our part.
Number 2, the lady that jump kicks on the intro to the show needs practice more. I don't remember.
Is he talking about me? People often, like, if they don't know, they hear my voice week to week, but they don't know what I look like. I'm often confused for a lady. Is he talking about me?
No, I think it's the episode. 3, it's never too soon to Helen Keller.
Okay.
I think it was from
Double Dare?
Double Dare, because the next one says, for Bruce Jenner would have Rico Gorman, Greco Groman wrestled the shit out of you both.
I would love that.
Oh, yeah.
Would you rather take on today's Bruce or, what's his name? Jenner? Would you rather take on today's Jenner?
Caitlyn?
Yeah. Would you take on Caitlyn or Bruce Jenner?
Ugh. Bruce.
Honestly, I'd go Caitlyn.
I think he was all coked up at this time.
Right now or back
during
then?
Double Dare. So I think
that would give him an edge. Wouldn't
you think so?
Oh yeah. I would. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner's got some. I think Laura
bodacious tatas.
Bodacious.
I put my response was, did we not go over the rules? Wow, good catch. 1,000 points for you, buddy.
And when you say points, what are you referring to?
Frequent flyer points.
Yeah.
It's a system that we devised to try to get people to interact more with us.
And it's working.
To be part of the show. Basically, anytime you download an episode, share an episode, tell a friend, give us fan feedback.
Tell an enemy. I don't care who you tell.
Oh, yeah. It's better to tell an enemy.
Tell an acquaintance. Tell your sister-in-law.
Tell your dead grandmother.
Yeah. And we'll not only will we know, but the all-knowing 7,000-pound machine known as the Pachinko machine will know as well. It calculates all the numbers associated with Couch Pilots, and you're going to get points, and they're redeemable for a myriad of items.
Right. You could cash them in and be on an episode, go on a flight with us, be on an episode here at the studio.
Not in the boat.
No, I would not let anybody come in here right now. I see water as I'm talking to you, and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, splashing around a little bit.
Get underneath the pits. You can turn it in for an array of surprise prizes.
Absolutely.
Lori Garcia and Richard, don't call him Dick. They did that one time.
They got like a big prize package.
They got a big prize package.
You get signed show notes, right?
Yeah, signed show notes.
Aviator glasses.
Oh, by the way, Dee Dee, I'm sorry. I have had a tumultuous couple weeks. It's autographed. There's an envelope sitting right there. I will have to get that out. So I'm a horrible person.
I'll do it. I'll send it out tomorrow on my lunch break.
It goes to Australia.
I'm not paying for that.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I have it ready to go.
Yeah, carrier pigeon.
Mike Tyson. We're friends with him.
Yeah, we know Mike from back in the day.
Yeah.
That's it for fan feedback?
That's it for fan feedback. A little on the light side, but still wonderful.
Still wonderful. Still, you know what? If any day that I can give out frequent flyer points, it's a good day in my book.
Exactly. We pride ourselves on giving a large amount for the smallest things.
Yeah, we get so much,
back from it. Yeah.
Why not give?
Right.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle of giving and goodness and kindness. Why not keep it going?
Yeah, and at the end of the summer, we're thinking about sending over a frequent flyer points package to South Africa and having them, drop it down on some of the less fortunate villages.
Sure. I'm excited to do that. I know those kids. A lot of them suffer radiation poisoning of the eyes. So we're going to drop a lot of aviator sunglasses down.
Oh,
there
definitely
for them.
Autographed ones.
Yeah, of course. And then, so we're going to see a sea of African children with incredible vision, all listening to Couch Pilots.
Yeah.
What else could you ask for?
That to me, that's one of the goals that we had when we first started this thing, and almost a year and a half into it, we'll be able to provide that.
Absolutely.
That's I don't see Drunken Lullabies doing that. Sending beers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
That's a good point. I think Dustin over at the Drunken Lullabies podcast knows damn well that there are some African children who don't have access to beer.
Right, they're thirsty as all get out. They want some of the nice brewskis.
And way back in the day, they would drink beer almost exclusively because the water was so bad for them.
Right.
So poisonous and dirty.
And they got so drunk they forgot about all their problems too.
That's exactly right.
And Low Blow Podcast, they don't have any kind of rewards program or any kind of incentive.
Well, I like to hear that girl's voice.
Oh yeah, the Garcia.
No, Dave.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Garcia.
That was good.
We came, we flew, we watched TV shows that only had one episode. Couch Pilots, the podcast, soon to be blog only.
That would not be near as fun.
No. We could type in silly fonts. That'd be fun. What's your favorite font?
Roman Times.
Oh, classic. Oh my God. Oh.
You know me. I mean, I'm always going classic.
You're a classic guy.
Converse.
Yeah. Converse.
Fruit of the Loom.
Times New Roman.
Times New Roman.
I like it when a font has a sequel. Like Wingdings 2.
There's a Wingdings 2?
Sure. Well, how many more Wingdings can there be out there?
Man.
Why are we fonting in Wingdings? What does that mean? Is that just some kind of code?
You can choke on a wing-ding-ding-a-ling down your throat. This show is built on the back of his back burps.
Porter. Today we discuss the pilot episode of Kung Fu: The Next Generation.
What?
From the year of our Lord, 1987.
Oh, great year.
It was a great year.
Oh man, 87. Wasn't that like the bicentennial?
Yeah.
Was it really?
No.
Okay. It's 85.
I don't think that's right either. The nation was founded in 1776. That would have been 1976 was the bicentennial.
Oh,
right?
No.
A bicentennial quarter.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you mean?
I'm trying to think of something.
Something happened.
Yeah, something happened.
I'll tell you some things that happened.
That's what I was. I was drowning in this water. I'm sorry.
1987. I remember it like I was 6 years old because I was. And you were probably 12 if I had to guess.
Dang right. I was 12, baby.
Great years, great ages, right?
Amazing age. 12 was probably the last of my innocence.
Oh, really?
You know?
Yeah.
I still wasn't old enough to be tried as an adult.
Oh, thank God.
My horrific depression and uncontrollable behavior episodes were
a few years off still.
just a few years off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was probably a good year for my mom.
This is a few years past the time you had dressed up for Michael Jackson, though. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That was second grade.
Okay. Well, I was 6. I was a few years younger. There are things I remember. Maybe like an episode of G.I. Joe, maybe some He-Man action, but it's hazy. So I need to go back in time.
Back in time.
That's a song from Back to the Future, a movie you've never seen to completion. I don't know that you have any business singing that.
But I love Huey Lewis and the News.
Okay, you can sing it. Let's go back to 1987. Let's talk about some of the things that happened in that year and put ourselves in the mind frame, because Kung Fu: The Next Generation deserves to be rated and processed.
Right. We can't review this and talk about this, and the listeners really shouldn't be listening to this either without putting themselves in the mindset, because you don't have special effects. You don't have the firepower of someone like Courtney Cox.
Right. Love her firepower.
Right. Or Vanderbeek.
Oh, yeah. James Vanderhoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have those kind of people to... That's what when you think of like a show nowadays, that's what you think.
James Vanderhoot.
Right. So put yourself back based off these events before you start judging this pilot.
Fox Broadcasting Company made its primetime TV debut. They said, hey, we got NBC, right?
You got CBS.
We got ABC.
You got PBS.
And that's it. That's
it.
all you're going to get.
That's a monopoly.
Yeah. Fox said, hold on a second, okay?
Hey, fellas.
Hey, y'all. Let me throw my hat into the ring. Mm-hmm. FOX.
I wonder how much it costs to start a network.
It's just a lot of towers, right? Don't you just have to build a lot of towers?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you have to have like a president, a vice president, a board of directors.
Yeah.
Someone in charge of
programming,
the graphics,
a janitor,
advertising,
a secretary.
I'm
taking
doorman.
Laying dormant. I am trying to think of everything I learned in business school. Let's see. You got to have an accountant, right?
Right.
You got to have a numbers guy. You got to have
HR.
Yes, you got to have puff and stuff. Human resources puff and stuff. Right.
Right.
Are you okay? Are you crying?
Yeah. No,
What's wrong?
That was good. I'm just obsessed with what's going on underneath me.
Well, the water is terrifying, right? It's murky.
The water is fine, so come on in.
We'd like to, but we cannot swim. Great song.
Great safety tips.
Gus and Goldie.
Yep.
1987. They were probably around back then.
Oh, I bet.
How many lives do you think those fake fish saved?
7.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
1987.
That's my go-to number.
Fox Broadcasting, I don't know what the first show they came up with. I'm guessing it wasn't Herman's Head. You remember that show? That's terrible. It's Gary Shandling show. That was on Fox, right?
Right.
You knew the words to that song.
This is the theme to Gary Show. The theme to Gary Show. Gary called me up and asked if I would write a theme song. I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? How do you like the theme to Gary Show? R.I.P.
That was R.I.P. Who was that? Newman, right? Gary Newman?
We had a discussion. No, I don't remember.
Not Gary Newman. He's the guy who wrote Cars.
What kind of cars?
Here
in my cars. In cars.
I love that song. Fox had like Married with Children.
Yep.
That show sucked. Something sexy about Peg though, right?
Oh yeah, she's like that trashy, sexy. Like I've gone through phases. Obviously, I watch a lot of pornography.
Yeah, you're in MILF porn now.
No, I'm into ghetto black girl porn now.
Oh, still okay.
Yeah, MILF was a while back.
I'm a little disappointed actually that you haven't come to me for like,
baby, come to me.
This show was built on the back of his songs.
That's all I remember.
You got to keep singing while I say that.
I know, but I don't. You only come up with it when I get stuck on a song. Stuck on a song.
The Black Ladies Love Me. I would hope that you would come to me and and be like, hey, can I get some tips on how to masturbate to black pornography?
I think I'm working it good. I think everything's working out.
Okay, well, if you got any questions, let me know.
I will definitely.
I'll help you black to black. Yes, Peg Bundy was sexy to me. She wore tight clothing. She's always popping chocolates in her mouth.
Big hair.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know.
High heels.
Yeah, everything was tight on her.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they said lay down, and they just spray painted an outfit on her. And then Christina Applegate, she was every time she came on the screen, she's like a 16-year-old girl, and the audience is hooting and hollering.
Oh, yeah. That
like
was
a bunch of animals.
Yeah, I was like, okay, guys, you probably should tone it down a little bit before the cops come.
I was never into Christina Applegate. She looks like my sister to me, so I'm like, no.
You have a pretty sister.
Yeah. So Peggy was where was that for me?
Got it.
First criminal convicted using DNA evidence, Robert Mealis in England.
Wow.
DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid. The double helix.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember from school.
You're super smart.
Ask me like a arithmetic problem.
What's the
I have no idea.
square root of a triangle?
Nope. The Pythagorean theorem.
I like it. Wow. I guess I just thought DNA would be like earlier on, I guess, like the 70s.
I thought DNA was just semen.
Like they could make cocaine,
Yeah.
pure cocaine,
What's stopping them from
making DNA.
That's right.
So he was in England. He was a murderer?
He was the
Serial killer.
He was a serial. I don't know if he was a killer or not, but I don't know if he jacked off on something and they put it under like a little
Blue light, a black light.
Yeah.
Black lights matter.
They put it under a black light and it mattered so much that they convicted him. And then all the judges over there wore powdered wigs still. Like
Right.
A bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, when they did the DNA thing, they turned the black lights on and they just had cum stains in all their white
Jesus.
wigs because they're a bunch of fucking
Poofs.
poofs.
Movies. Ready for the movies of 1987?
1987.
Three Men and a Baby.
I've seen that.
Gutenberg, Danson, and Selleck.
Yep.
And then a baby. You remember that part where they're walking through their huge weird apartment? Like, why are guys of that age living together?
It was a huge place. It was.
And then there was remember that?
They all had really good jobs. One was like an architect, and
Why are they living together?
didn't they all just like recently get divorced? Maybe is that what it was, or something like that?
I remember there was a dead guy in there. Remember that? In the background, there you could see. They said there's a kid who committed suicide, and you could see his ghost in the movie.
Oh, is that like an urban legend, kind of like the midget in Wizard of Oz hanging?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's exactly like that. But you don't know. You don't know if it's. I don't know if it's real or not.
You don't know,
Yeah,
don't show,
right.
or don't care what's going on in the hood.
You really are watching a lot of black ghetto porn. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Judge Nelson. Is that his name?
Judd Nelson.
Judge Reinhold.
Oh, Judge. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Why would you name your kid Judge?
I guess your admirations for him as an adult were really, really high.
Or he was born with a powdered wig? Did you ever?
Or like the doctor hit him with a gavel.
Did you ever watch Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Yeah.
No, of course not. You didn't watch any movies. I don't know. I don't think I like those movies.
I don't think Eddie Murphy's near as funny.
Robocop. It's I was looking into that, and it's actually short for robotic copper. Did you know that?
That was like really innovative in like special effects, wasn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about this? We're talking about the show Kung Fu: The Next Generation. The criminal guy in it, Nick, right?
Yeah.
That's Miguel Ferrer. I tweeted him, and he's dead.
Really?
Yeah, and he was in RoboCop too. I think he was the guy who.
So he didn't tweet you back?
No. I didn't get the Ouija board out. I think he's the guy in RoboCop. Remember that thing that they built that RoboCop has to fight at the end?
I never watched it.
All right, Miguel's in that too.
But I've seen him in a lot of TV movies and stuff, I think.
Would you like to be a robotic cop?
No, I don't want to be a cop. Not nowadays.
Well, would you? Okay, say
If I could have any job in the world, what I want to be? Race car driver?
as a robot.
Oh, as a robot.
Like, okay, so RoboCop, he was a regular cop, a man, and then he got shot a bunch, and they put him inside a robot, and now he's alive again. Would you want to have a job where you were part robot?
Couldn't I be a race car driver who was in a real bad accident, and then they changed me into a robot so then I could be a robotic race car driver?
You mean like a transformer?
Well, it's more than meets the eye, but yeah.
You'd be like 15 foot high, right?
Blake, roll out.
I'd love to see you as that. Why did we choose to watch this? Because, I mean, right now, we're back in 1987, right?
3 simple criteria, and I'll take care of this. First, it had only 1 episode was made. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant, but it did not go to series. Only 1 was made. Second, we had to be able to scour the internet to find it. You have to find it to watch it.
You can't watch something you can't find. That's like the Legend of the Sasquatch.
And then finally, it had to be free. Where we can't afford. We're knee deep in water.
Hold on a second, Blake. How much extra money do you have laying around? You got some extra money? You want to spend it on some pilots with me?
I got $10.
I'm not spending $10 on a goddamn pilot. I already pay $20 at the Libsyn count every month.
That's true. I shouldn't have told you I had the 10.
yeah. Can you pitch in?
Can you help me out?
But you're right. Those are the 3 things. If you don't qualify for that, then hit the road, Jack.
Don't come back.
No more.
No more. No more. No more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.
Back of his songs.
What'd you say?
Meet us all woman at a evident. That's my best singing voice.
I do lots of heroin as a blues man.
Are you speaking for yourself or
I'm speaking in tongue. Tom T. Hooker.
Okay. Tongue me.
Tum Kang Chi.
Where can you find this show? You can find it by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in the show notes, or go to Daily Motion and check out all the commotion.
Oh, shit.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Sorry for everybody's eardrums right there.
Commotion rhymes with Daily Motion.
In the ocean.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm going to write that one down.
When we do one for Daily Motion, we should just have like a Billy Ocean song playing in the background.
What's your favorite? Caribbean Queen?
I can't think of any right now.
Caribbean Queen. Caribbean Queen.
Sing it. I don't.
Caribbean Queen. Now we're sharing the same dream. And our hearts can beat as one.
That's good.
No more love on the run.
This song is built on the back of his songs.
That was actually a recording of Billy Ocean. And not me.
Oh, you're using your phone. That's cool.
Summary of the pilot. Billy Ocean. No, I'm just kidding. A modern-day descendant of Caine hopes to turn his estranged son away from a life of crime. Yes.
That summarizes.
Summary complete. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you got to know who Caine is.
And we're not talking about WWE's Caine and the Undertakers.
Who is now, I guess he's running for mayor of Tennessee or something? Governor?
I think it's a situation where he is going to rule a town with an iron fist. Rule it with fear. I fear Caine.
Watch out, Michael. Don't call him Mike Sink.
Now it's going to be. He's running for the mayor of Johnson City, Tennessee.
Well, I think it's like a governor of Tennessee. I think.
I bet if he comes across like a constituent that he doesn't like, he'll just choke slam him through a table.
That'd be awesome.
Or tombstone pile drive him. R.I.P.
So basically, that is a summary. It summarizes what we're about to watch.
You know, you may not agree with what I'm about to say. It sounds controversial, but I think all of the summaries that we read are summaries. Are they good or not? That's kind of where it gets subjective.
Right. I mean, they don't have to be good. They just have to summarize what they don't have to be full of beauty and wonderment. They just have to tell us what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. Interesting facts. Now who called us out? Was it Conrad?
Oh, yeah.
He called us out earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And said that
he's just like itching that trigger finger this for the past year, just waiting for us to.
You know what he's doing? I bet he take his 1,000 frequent flyer points and he broke them down into individual ones and poured them all over his bed. And now he's listening to the show and just rolling through all of his frequent flyer points.
He does ask for the frequent flyer points in paper,
in physical, tangible points.
Right?
Yeah. They're you know what they really are when they get physical? They're just they're Chuck E. Cheese tickets.
Huh, that's cool. I mean, he doesn't need to know that. He knows what a Chuck E. Cheese is. You hear what I said? Doesn't know what Chuck E. Cheese is.
Yeah, it's Chuck E. Cheese, man.
You know Chuck E. Cheese is.
Interesting Facts is a portion of the show where we say, hey, here's the pilot, watch it, and guess what? There's a little bit more. There's things that you didn't see, there's things maybe you didn't know, and we're going to tell you those things. Factual information that cannot be changed, that will not be changed.
We're going the extra mile.
I don't have to do any of this shit.
No, you don't.
My community service is complete. Okay?
Says Judge Reinhold.
Says powdered wig Judge Reinhold. Semen covered, black light Judge Reinhold. Have you seen him lately?
No, I don't think so.
This is what Judge Reinhold looks like. He looks like, hey, I'm Judge Reinhold that you know from the 80s, early 90s. And then here is a blender, and my face goes in the blender. And then I go to the doctor, and they fucking plastic surgery the shit out of me.
They sand it down.
He looks terrifying.
Man.
It should be called Nightmare Reinhold. That's what he looks like now.
That's too bad.
I don't know. Why do people do that? Grow old gracefully, like me.
Oh, yeah. You don't look a day over, I don't know, let's say 36.
I'm actually, I'm younger than that. I look worse than I am.
Oh, yeah, because your birthday is not until October.
I can make myself cry.
Don't do it today because I'm at the point of almost crying anyway. If you cry, I cry, then Molly will hear us and she'll come down and cry.
It's like when somebody pukes and then you puke.
Right.
Don't ruin these facts for anyone else. Take them in, digest them, let it sit. Sit on the toilet if you have to and crap them right out. But don't ruin someone else's experience by saying, oh, that fact was great. Or, I don't know about that fact. Well, go to hell.
Right.
You can go to hell.
Or, that's interesting. Don't, just listen.
Not on my watch. All right?
Listen, folks. Just listen.
Stars Brandon Lee dead.
Yep.
He's dead, all right.
Yeah, he sure is.
He got shot by an accident.
By the sheriff?
Mm-hmm. Was intended to be a follow-up to the 1972 to 1975 television series Kung Fu, the original.
Right. I remember the original.
David Keridean.
Oh, he always looked horrible, didn't he?
He jerked off to death.
Did he really?
He died of autoerotic asphyxiation.
He did?
Yeah.
Good on him.
That's the way to go, right?
That's how I'm going to go.
And then
I did not know that. That is super interesting.
Do you think...
But that's not one of your facts.
Okay. All right. You got me.
Right?
You got me.
That was
Shit.
That was
you are a tricky dick, my friend.
That was a free baller. That wasn't listed.
I'll let that slide.
Right.
Pretty good.
He should have let it slide. He would have died.
Well, I think his plan was, I will jerk off until I die and then come back as a jerk off robot.
So that he could be the best damn robot ever.
That'd be great, though, right?
He probably thought he was going to come back as a grasshopper.
Perhaps. It was the second follow-up to the series after Kung Fu the movie from 1986.
Did that have the dad in this one?
No. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
It aired on CBS Summer Playhouse, a series that aired unsold television pilots. Fact.
Okay. I'm down to clown.
In the 1970s, another follow-up series titled Kung Fu, The Legend Continues, aired, which ignored the continuity of the TV movies.
That doesn't make any sense. Why you just going off the name of it?
I think that actually was a semi-successful series. Wasn't that on like USA Network or something?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they just said, let's wipe it clean and just go. Let's start from regular Kung Fu. Skip all that crap. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I got though. That's the end of interesting facts.
Good job. No, that was.
I was scrounging, baby.
Well, no, but you did one right off the top of the dome.
That's right. That's true. Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I doubt Jason's going to read a Twitter response.
You are correct. There were no Twitter responses. I do like to announce the segment still.
Oh, yeah.
And I also like to announce the Low Blow podcast.
Are you sick of spoiled white people and Donald Trump bringing you the news you could care less about?
Are you sick of trolling the interwebs for penis-related news only to end up flaccid?
Do you lust for Florida only the way a mother lover can?
Then look no further than Fakakta Comedy Funhouse's Low Blow podcast with Adam Z and Dave Rowan.
Streaming live every week at lowblowpodcast.net and available for download Thursdays at fcfnetwork.com.
Appropriately inappropriate. Oh.
Okay, right off the bat, I gotta apologize.
Oh, I forgive you.
He sent me a new promo, and I haven't uploaded it onto there.
Are they really?
They have a new promo.
Can we hear it right now or not? Only if the quality is bad. Can you promise me that?
I don't even know if I can. I don't have it on the phone.
Maybe we'll do it on the next episode.
But I do feel bad though. I feel really bad. He gave me the new one. I put it on our main server, but not on that.
They talk in that promo. This is Dave Rowan and Adam Z.
Well, and then the Garcia lady's on the new one now.
Garcia's Pizza. She's on occasionally.
That was good pizza.
Oh, Gutbuster all day or day. They talk a lot. He said penis related material or penis related news. I would think, I don't know, you get penis related news once a month. Nope. They dig so hard, and maybe it's because he's a gay guy and he loves penises. But they have so many penis related news. I can't believe it. That's why I tune in.
If it's not about penises, it's about Florida. If it's not about one of those two things,
and Florida looks like a penis.
Florida does look like a penis,
and they
kind of a saggy penis with.
To me, it looks like a regular penis. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
When I look in the mirror, I see Tallahassee every day. Great show. Low Blow Podcast, almost every week, right here on the FCF network. Check it out, right?
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy it. They've added a female co-host.
I'd love to add a female right now. You know what I'm saying?
I know what it is. Here's the way I look at it, right?
Yeah.
You're always going to be trying to catch up with the Joneses, right? And that's what they're doing.
What are you saying?
We've had female co-hosts on all kinds of shows. They're all excited because IBWIP is taking a shit, so and so they're trying to just slide into that spot of like being the best.
Okay.
But
they think adding a girl is going to help them get there.
Oh, it's just because they have two girls in one cock doesn't mean it's going to be the best show ever.
It is a good show.
Oh, it's a great show. I love it. It's entertaining.
Let's break down the pilot. I don't know if we saw the same version of this or not, but there's a bizarre intro. Did you get this?
The two black people sitting at the table.
Yeah.
And I knew the guy, I had seen him in a lot of shows on television. He's a character actor. And they're sitting around a table. They're introducing this show. It was a little odd. She looked like she was getting ready to go to the Kentucky Derby.
I thought she looked like she looked like she had a white, like a Navy hat.
Right.
It was like a circle hat that just went straight up, and there was no creases or anything. It was just like she was going into the Navy.
But that was the 80s, man.
I recognize the guy, too. I cannot place him. The woman, I think, just may be the second mom from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Maybe. I'll have to... I will tell you that I'm going to look into it. I will not.
Oh, I understand. Lord Garcia, that's your responsibility.
Check in on that, please. They were obviously hosts, and why CBS Summer Playhouse needed hosts is beyond me.
Well, I thought the same thing until I watched the end of it.
And there is something very special we'll be doing at the end, and I know that you know what it is.
Right. I know that you know that I know that you know that I know what it is.
All right. Narration. Century ago, great-grandfather comes over from Chinaman Town, helping others. And I'm thinking, is this the voice of the main character? And it is.
Right. And it's kind of black and white pictures of, or stills.
Yeah, like silhouettes of like sticks fighting.
Of the original actor. And
David Keridean.
Yeah, so I think they took stills from the old show.
What about Nash and Young?
I want to tell you something. Mm-hmm. I want to fuck them. I don't want to know what their names are. I cannot pronounce any.
I thought you said Stills.
Crosby.
Nash.
Young.
All right.
What did you say?
Nash and Young.
Oh.
Nighttime. Criminals talking. I think they're doing something. I think they're doing a robbery. Is what's going on. And then
you find out this is the narrator who's talking, or the person who's talking at the beginning, is the main character, is the father.
Yeah.
And basically, this is a father of a. He is the father of Brandon Lee in this.
Yep.
And he is this guy who is the father is the son of the guy who jerked off and died.
Yeah, and then later became a robot.
Right.
Yes. So the grandson of Caine from the original series, he's talking to Miguel, who his name
Cabrera.
That's right. And his name of the show is Nick. And they're like, say, hey, we got to rob this place. Like, all right. And he's like, I don't know if I want to do it. It's like, you're here right now. You got to do it.
Right.
He's like, all right.
Yeah.
So he's like talking him into doing it.
It's very dark.
Very
dark.
They're hiding in the bushes. Then they start like climbing up the side of the wall.
Yeah.
right?
Well, at first, like they're sneaking in. They're basically they're trying to sneak into this real mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon Lee, whose name is
Johnny.
Do you want to go with Johnny, not Wai Chang?
Kwai
Chang Tuong.
Yeah, let's go Johnny. That's
Johnny.
what he likes to be called.
Frankie and Johnny. Anyway, Johnny's like they're kind of crouching down there, walking around, and he's like, "Hey, don't go any further. Let me have a smoke." He takes the guy's cigarette.
Gets down on his knees and yeah. Now this is a trope we've seen, right, in the 80s and 90s.
Right, and then there's the red light. He sees the red light, which is a security.
How would he know that it's right there? Why did he stop at that exact point?
He's got karate intuition.
Oh, he's got the sixth sense?
Oh, yeah, he's got all 6 of them.
He's got the gift of the second sight?
Mm-hmm. So he sneaks into the house, and the older guy, Nick, is waiting outside. And so Johnny throws this rope down, and Nick is supposed to climb up there and get in there and so like steal the stuff.
It's kind of tense, I think. It's a little tense.
It is.
They saw police earlier doing a lap around the neighborhood, just doing kind of a regular patrol. It seems like a very nice neighborhood. And I'm thinking the whole time, someone is about to get kung fu'd. Somebody is.
Oh.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, definitely. And I felt that way for like 3/4 of this show.
Yeah.
But when Nick is climbing up the rope, his blue jeans set off one of the silent alarms. It doesn't just start beeping; it's a silent alarm.
That's right.
They're up there, they're talking about, got this stuff they're getting. Then the cop shows up.
Now, what did they get? I thought someone said Colombian. Were they talking about coffee or cocaine or what?
I think they were talking about cigars.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the police bust him. Nick runs away.
It's really dark in this scene.
And the other criminal, which I don't really know his name at this point, but it turns out to be Johnny. He karates the cop because he's got a gun pointed at him. But he says, "I don't want to hurt you."
Yeah, he's like, "What?" It's like slow motion, I think.
Yeah, they slow it down a little bit.
Yeah,
and he's what is this guy? Is he a good criminal? Why you think the criminal he karates him? You think he chop his head off? He doesn't do that at all.
No, he just wants to get the gun out of his hand. And like I said, that Nick guy takes off.
Yep, and then
bails on him.
More cops show up, guns pointed, they arrest him, and he says, "My name is Caine." He's like, "All right." Next day, what we believe to be his father is out enjoying the sunrise really early in the morning, and he walks into the city, which we do find out is L.A.
Right. He it seemed like he spent the early morning hours in the woods.
That's what a kung fu man does. Right?
Playing with butterflies or something.
Frolicking among nature.
Sun rises, he comes out of the woods and walks, 7 miles to his house.
Yep. He gets to his house, and then a man pulls up in a vehicle, and he's like, "Hey, I heard you can fix things." He's like, "Yeah, why don't you come on inside?" So they go in, and this guy he's got a great look. He's a balding guy, right? But he's got massive amounts of hair around the side of his head.
Bushy mustache.
Caterpillar mustache.
And then top it off with that sweet blazer.
Oh my God.
Plaid.
This is the look, right?
Yeah.
This is the look of 1987. Well, he's a landlord. He says, "Hey, I want this guy out of here. I need to evict someone. He's a piece of garbage."
He hasn't paid rent in 3 months.
Yeah, and then Caine says, he's like, that's not who I do. That's not what I do. I don't do that. That's not me.
I don't do what you do when the voodoo.
And then he gets, the Caterpillar stash, he gets up and he leaves kind of in a huff. And then Caine gets a phone call. He's like, "Hey, it's Lois down at the station. You're my friend. Come on down here and get your boy. He got arrested." And so he goes down there, and there's a lot of like light, gentle piano music playing. I don't know if you've noticed this throughout the show.
And come to find
soothing.
out that the father and Johnny have been estranged for a year.
They haven't seen each other that long.
Haven't seen or talked to each other.
That's right.
It really hit home.
Caine, oh my gosh. Is that something, should we unpack that?
No.
Okay. Caine, it turns out, is a man of the people. He's out there helping the neighborhood. So Lois at the police station, it kind of extends a courtesy to him.
Sure.
And this is where you see Caine is like super zen. He is on like a 2 at all times.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He is just super mellow. Nothing going to hold him back. Nothing going to hold him down.
I wish I could be like that just for like 4 hours a day.
Very stoic. Maybe you should start meditating.
I've thought about it.
What would your mantra be?
Ain't no thing like a chicken wing on a string.
Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. You should repeat that to yourself out loud in your head.
Isn't your mantra find you? You don't find a mantra, it finds you.
I think it takes some time, but you're advanced.
Like as opposed to a gorilla? Anyway, so she takes the dad in and opens the door, and there's Brandon.
Yeah.
In a quarter zipped hoodie.
He's got nothing on except a hoodie that zips, and it's down to his goddamn
And he has
navel.
no t-shirt on, and he stays. You see a lot of chest this whole time.
A lot of very toned
and
abs.
he stands up and he starts yelling at his dad like right off the bat. I'm like, if I saw a relative come to the police station to pick me up, I would keep my fucking mouth shut.
I told him not to call you.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
I'm a smooth criminal.
And then Caine puts up his hand, and instantly Johnny is silenced.
Me and Molly watched this part, and we were both looking at each other, and we're like, Eli, come here. And like he came in, and we both put our hand up, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" I was like, "It don't work.
Cut the horse shit. Take me to karate."
Yeah.
He takes him home, and there's a quick cut of like "Stop the Madness" commercial. I always like the old commercials.
They didn't stay on here very long. They got edited off.
Johnny is wearing, that's where I know he was wearing his hoodie. That was like nothing underneath. It zipped down to his smoking hot navel. That's just a note I put in there.
Smoking hot navel.
They're walking down the streets of L.A. They come across a bakery, and the owner rushes outside and thanks Elder Caine for his advice and gives him some free food.
Yeah, his wife was sick, and he made some herbal concoction, and his wife's not sick anymore.
Yep.
And, at this point, Johnny's like, Dad, why do you walk everywhere? Why don't you get a car?
If I was walking around and people were giving me free things, I'd probably keep walking everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But he says, when I walk, I see my friends.
That's right. The first of many Caineisms. He later says to his son, who's obviously having trouble with the law, the truthful man fears nothing. Right? Caine is full of these Confucius say sort of ideals.
Like tons of fortune cookie things.
That's right.
It sounds like more water is coming in.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So, the dad's talking to son, and he's like, "Hey, you stole stuff from me." He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're going to return everything you stole."
Yep.
And you also stole from me. He's like, "What did I steal from you?" The knowledge of karate, to use it for bad instead of good. A lot of stuff happens in this conversation on the walk home.
Yeah, including Johnny refusing to rat out his accomplice because Caine is trying to press him for information. So they're like, you know what? Let's go to the local butcher, right? So they go to the local butcher, and the woman working there, her name is Helen, and she's like, hey, I'm sorry I can't pay you for the class I'm taking with you. He's like, pay me when you can, and I have got a Meta World Milk Beignet right now.
Yeah, she was really pretty, and and Johnny was like all about it. He was like staring her down like uncomfortably.
That dude was straight milk boning too.
Yeah, he was straight milk boning. His sausage was ready to go.
So they packed up his sausage in the butcher truck, and I thought, were they working for him? It's like, no, I think they just let him use the truck because everyone loves Caine and he helps him out. So they stop and they pick up all of Johnny's stuff.
He lives in a high-rise apartment building.
Yeah, and then they go to like I don't know, like a Goodwill kind of thing or something.
Yeah, thrift store. And he's like, "Why are we here, Dad?" And the guy goes, "Take everything, take it all, guys. You can have it."
He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You're giving these things away because of the way that you acquired them, the things that you did to take these." And he said, "Well, not the bike. Let me keep the bike, please. I got that from Mom.
Right, Mom gave it to me for my birthday."
And I think, Mom's dead, right? That's what I think at this point. Because why would it mean so much to him? Because she's dead. Not the case, though.
Thank God. She's just in Vancouver, that's all.
He is then taken back to Caine's place, and he's given a room with nearly nothing, only a bed, some clothes, and a fucking stick.
Yes, a music stick.
Yeah, they start throwing it around, and it's like, I don't want this stick. He's like, this is ancient.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to listen to your BS. And then he finds a picture of his mom and his dad and him when he was a kid.
Yep.
And he's like, I need to be alone for a while.
Yep.
Come to find out, the Nick guy comes in the middle of the night. The Nick guy comes snooping in and knocks on the window and is like, hey, here's your money.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, man, you left me high and fucking dry. He's like, man, I'm thinking about getting out of the game. But first, I got one more final score.
I owe people some money. I gotta get some. I gotta get some dough, bro.
Right, dobro. That's an instrument.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Is it like an accordion?
No, it's like a banjo kind of thing.
Dobro. Yeah, Nick gives him his cut from what they did the other night. They argue for a minute, And then they make up pretty quickly, almost like he tickles him or something.
Yeah, it was some kind of weird little. There's definitely a father-son kind of.
He found in Nick what he couldn't get, what he felt like he couldn't get from his dad.
Right.
Johnny turns him down, and then Nick like points a gun at him for a second. Like, what the hell's going on here? And Caine witnesses the whole thing. You know what I witnessed? I witnessed that Caine is walking from his house to another area where his son is going to be living. And for a man who's walking around all day, he sure does have a huge house in L.A. How does that happen?
He's that great of a guy.
Yeah.
He's just he teaches karate.
Yeah.
He's got a nice house, and he doesn't lock it. He never locks his door.
The 80s were a different time. That's right. He never locks his door, ever. Well, Caine witnesses the entire interaction between Nick and his son Johnny, and he knows the Nick character is up to no good.
The next morning, the dad is having his karate class out in the back patio.
Yep.
And Johnny wakes up and comes out there and sits right next to that girl, the butcher's daughter.
Helen is there, and I am ready to discipline her body.
Right.
I'll tell you what.
And he sits down very close to her.
Yes, he does. He immediately puts the Mac down, right?
Right.
But not before he puts the smack down.
Well, his dad is teaching, and of course Johnny's getting a little mouthy with his dad, cocky kid.
Yep. And
so his dad's like, okay, and throws him a stick, and they got to have a stick fight. And his dad, just real mellow, just real cool.
Yep.
And, a lot of anger, and Johnny, he's very angry. He wants to, whack his dad with a stick.
Yep.
And his dad whips him and makes him look stupid.
And Johnny stomps away like a baby. And then Caine steps away to talk to Johnny, and the entire class seems to almost comically do their poses in the background. I don't know if you noticed this.
Like they're practicing.
Yeah, I'm in the background of this shot. Hopefully someone sees me and I get noticed.
And the dad says, to Johnny, I'm sorry, but if I was hard on you, it was because you're all I got.
Yeah.
I teared up a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That night, Johnny plays the bamboo flute, and his father tells him they're going somewhere. It'll be a long ride.
Yeah. Next scene, they're on a bus. They get off a bus in the middle of the desert.
They grab a couple of apples, right?
Yeah, grab a couple of apples, and then they walk in a very, very windy desert.
Mm-hmm. Kind of towards the mountains a little bit.
To Silver Creek.
And Caine drinks from the stream like a fucking animal.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's like an abandoned farm / village. This is where your great-grandfather lived. Why don't you spend some time absorbing the vibe?
Yeah, and
of
he
this
goes
place.
a little story time with father and son, and all of a sudden a grasshopper jumps on Johnny's hand.
Yep.
And he
says, "This is your ancestor touching you."
Yeah.
And whatever. I don't know. Whatever. His grandfather is believed to be dead, but they never found his body. They said
no. He had a heart attack in the garden. His wife went to go get a doctor and came back, and he was gone.
And then you see a ghost.
Oh, it was pretty cool. That was like one of the coolest parts.
It looked like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Right.
He comes out from the house, and Johnny sees him. He's like, ghost. And then I think Caine sees him too. And they're just like, yeah, it's a ghost.
Yeah, he's
so
like,
what?
yeah, that's your grandpa.
Yeah, you can talk to the dead. They make their way back to the tourist place or the bus pickup wherever they were before, and Johnny steps away from his dad. He's like, hey, go get me a drink. So his dad goes, and he calls Nick and says, hey, Nick, you pointed that gun at me last night. Now I'm ready to help you out.
Right, but I want to be a partner.
That's right. And that night, Johnny meets up with Nick and some young punk.
They go to do another job.
That's right. They get in a pickup, and then they get to work flickering flashlights at each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of code. They're not that far away from each other.
Just flashlight tag.
It's just like right across the tracks from each other.
And that's exactly right. They're about ready to rob a train, is what they're doing.
Because this is the Old West.
Yeah, with all the noise, just talk. I think all the noise of a train, you're better off talking because you can still see the lights flickering at night.
Right.
Just talk to each other.
The train was not that far away when they were flickering their lights.
The guy in the train's not going to hear you.
Right.
So Johnny starts running up against the train, and he unhitches it, which seems like a Herculean task.
Virtually impossible.
Right. But he definitely does do it. And the punk's over there, and then he switches the track, so kind of the cart that they want kind of veers off to the side.
Right.
In a safe little place for them to open up. And they start taking everything. And it turns out they're
guns.
Just a bunch of guns. Yeah.
Boxes of Uzis, AK-47s.
Johnny's super pissed. And again, Nick calms him down instantly.
Oh, yeah. It's like every time Johnny gets super mad, but then Nick's like, whoa, bro.
Nick knows all the buttons to push on Johnny. Next day, Johnny's at the house, and Caine busts him for going out late. He then
And Johnny is drinking orange juice out of the jug. Don't do that.
We're trying to have a civilization
Don't do
here,
that.
Johnny.
Did you buy that orange juice, Johnny?
Probably not.
No.
I did like the refrigerator though. It was about 2.5 foot high, and it was one of those old Frigidaire ones.
Well, yeah, his
really
dad
cool.
doesn't. His dad lives a simple life.
Then Caine says, "I want to leave to help someone translate a Chinese manuscript."
Yeah.
Like, all right, get the hell out.
Johnny's like, cool. So then Nick comes to pick Johnny up because they got to do the drop.
Yep.
From the stuff.
And they're driving away, and I think that young. No, it's just the two of them. I think
There's just two of them.
And then they like pull into this building, and then his dad is in the back of the truck under the tarp, and he pokes his head up.
Right, just so you know that he's there.
He's not. He doesn't want to know where he is. He wants you to know where
Right,
he is.
exactly.
So he does so the audience can see. And then there's a couple of guys in here. You got a gay cowboy, and then you got a big suited black man. Think
the black guy looked like the guy from The Office.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Think of Stanley from The Office dressed like Samuel Jackson from Pulp Fiction.
There you go. Good job.
And the gay cowboy lifts up the tarp, and you are holding your breath, and boom, he's not in there.
Nowhere to be found. How is that possible?
A ninjutsu.
There wasn't even a place for his body underneath that tarp.
I don't know how he did it.
So Johnny goes in, talk to the bad guy so he can meet the boss guy, because he wants to be a partner. And they go and they ends up being Nick is the boss.
Yeah, they take him, and it's like there's a numbers guy. He's a little wimpy turd of a dude.
Little Jew guy.
Yeah, we're with a little bow tie. He's like, I'm
the boss. I'm the accountant.
And then Nick talks shit to that guy, and I was like, hey, how are you talking shit to the boss? Because he's not the boss. You're right. Nick is the boss the whole time. And he says, Johnny, I don't trust you.
Right.
You want to be a partner all of a sudden?
Right. First you wanted out, then you got arrested, then you went back in. That smells like cops to me.
And he's totally right. Nick has his guys come in with guns on Johnny, kind of roughing him up, and they find a recording device on him. Looked like the size of a goddamn hardback book. It's a huge recording device.
Yeah, it was like a little Sony Walkman is what it was that Nick had given to him that night that he...
Yep.
Yeah. So, by this point, we're 6/8
Or 3/4.
3/4 through this movie.
Yeah.
I ain't seen nobody kick nobody.
If you are going to have a show called Kung Fu,
The Next Generation,
there better goddamn be a karate chap in every freaking scene.
Right, exactly. And there wasn't until finally. They show Dad. He's not sneaking in. He just walks up to the black guy and says, "I wish to pass." And the black guy's like, "Motherfucker,
Yeah.
I don't think so." Fucking karate chops him one time.
Boom. Well, he hits him a little bit, and then it looks like he grabs him in the stomach or something.
And he passes
and
out.
He passes out. That's an ancient Chinese secret.
Huh?
Nick instructs Johnny to lay down on a tarp for
Yeah.
murder.
They don't want to make a mess.
They're going to murder this guy.
Right. And so basically what happens now, him and his dad fight everybody.
Go back to back.
They go back to back, karate chop everybody. And it's very poorly done combat, in my opinion.
Kung Fu can be awesome.
Right.
Jackie Chan has showed this over the year.
Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah. His very own father, Bruce Lee, showed us how awesome
Yeah.
Kung Fu could be.
If Bruce Lee would have watched this and said, "Son, you disgrace me. You're out of the family."
You said, Caine, you can have him. He said, Caine, you can have him.
It's a dog on a boat.
Dog in a boat.
Yep, dog on a boat. So, so they fight everybody. They end up getting away. And what it comes down to, Johnny's like, hey,
Johnny.
Hey, Johnny. It's just the dock worker. She's a beautiful dock worker.
It's all right.
Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, so he's like, Dad, I was trying to do the right thing. I was trying to bust him out. He's like, why didn't you tell me about this, son? We would have been partners.
Yeah.
He's like, no more lies. We're gonna be back to back.
He says, welcome to the family business. He's like, I know you're here to help people, right?
Mm-hmm.
The police show up, and then Lois, they kind of clean up everything, and they're saying they may drop the charges on Johnny. And then they kind of say, yeah, we got to trust each other. If we're going to go forward, we got to trust each other.
Right. Just welcome to the family business.
Yeah. The end. They smile at each other. Freeze frame. Dun, 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 dun. Freeze frame. They go back to this black couple then, right, at the end.
Oh yeah, this is
You've seen the pilot episode for CBS Summer Playhouse, and now we're wrapping it up. You're talking to the same black couple from the beginning, and they say, you know what?
If you like this,
Yeah,
dial
1-900-220-2311.
Yeah,
and if you don't like it, call 1-900-220-2322.
I find it hard to believe that a network is just going to base whether a show goes on, whether it gets voted on by some viewers.
I have to believe they've already made up their mind at this point.
Right.
And they're just, because it's a 900 number, you're paying for the call.
Sure.
That back in the day, 900 numbers, you paid for that call. It's 50 cents per call.
Wow.
They said it's all going to charity.
Well, that's good.
They didn't specify what charity.
My dig.
But yeah, get involved in the process. CBS Summer Playhouse. Up next, or next week, check out Changing Patterns and Nikki and Nora. Nikki and Nora, FYI, a future pilot.
All right.
I think during the last section of the show, we're going to call it one of those numbers. It'll kind of reveal how we felt about the show.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Sounds good.
Turbulence.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
You ended up in the CBS Summer Playhouse. The show didn't work. We know that much, right?
Yeah, that's when you're on the Summer Playhouse, you've already punched your ticket.
You're floating around the bottom of the toilet waiting to be sucked through, right? Why didn't this work?
To be honest with you, it wasn't very. We're not used to this small quarters. Ow, that hurt.
Sorry, I stepped on you. Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
That was a whole setup.
I bloodied your foot just now. Good God, man! This day can't get worse for you. I'm so sorry.
No, that's not your fault. You didn't do that. It was already like that.
I don't believe you.
No, I know it was already like that. It was like that before we did interesting facts.
Did I just break your nail?
No, it was already.
All right.
What was the question? Oh, why did it work?
How are you doing?
How's it going, man? So how are you doing? How you doing?
I'm okay. This show, you touched on it earlier. I don't think there was enough red hot kung fu action.
No, there wasn't.
This show.
This was not action packed at all.
This is what you get right in the first scene. One karate chop. That's it.
In almost total darkness.
Yeah, and then you don't get more karate chops for another 45 minutes.
Right.
Not good enough.
And also, I think I think Brandon Lee was a horrible actor in this. I really think his acting was bad. But for me, the people that watch Kung Fu are not, however many years later this is, 10 years later?
Yeah, 10 years.
Those people that watch Kung Fu are not going to be watching this. So you're trying to get a whole new audience, a younger audience, by having Brandon Lee on here, and trying, when they don't have the origin story. They don't have, the 30 seconds you spent on the origin story at the beginning of it.
Right.
The new viewers aren't going to understand it, and so they're not going to understand the whole storyline. You should just reboot the whole thing.
Don't you think we try to do that all the time though anymore? Don't you think they're always trying to reboot?
But we have the
things?
internet now.
Okay, so you think we're more connected and we understand more references?
We can look stuff up easier.
Okay, I see what you're saying. What would you have done to improve?
More karate.
Yeah, that's a lob, right?
Yeah, more action packed.
Give me karate.
Or give me death.
That's right. I want a hurricane rana, right? I want a hurricane kick. I want everything that Ryu does in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, I've never played Street Fighter, so I don't know.
If this thing
survived,
survived,
like you can rip out their spine. That's all I know.
Not in Street Fighter. Oh no, you don't. Oh,
what was that?
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat. Okay.
If it survived, week after week, these gentlemen are waking up. They're taking off their socks and shoes. They're walking barefoot around the city, helping local bakers. Probably getting closer to Helen's
candlestick
pants.
makers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's definitely would have been a romance bud between the two of them. But all it's going to be is very melodramatic life lessons for Johnny, who should already know all this stuff.
Yeah, he's old enough.
Yeah.
What is he, his early 20s or something?
I bet you he was 25 if I'm 40.
Okay, which you're not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different things they could be doing, but would it be worth watching? Would it be interesting to see?
I don't think so. If it was more action, like I want to watch the A-Team over this.
Sure. A lot of explosions in the A-Team, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
If you could somehow combine kung fu action with explosions, I think you'd have a real hit on your hands.
Add some titties.
and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Final descent. Let's take this plane down.
Take this plane down and shove it.
What are people saying about Kung Fu The Next Generation? It's out there. We found it. We're not smart guys at all.
Right. No, we're not intelligent at all.
No, if we can do it.
We wouldn't do a podcast if we were intelligent.
No, it's a waste of our time. But if we can find this stuff, other people can find it. Other people have found it. IMDb care to take a stab at the score.
6.5.
5.3.
Whew.
And that's out of 58 ratings.
Okay.
Viewer reviews. I worked on this film and saw it.
I would hope so if you worked on it.
He worked on it and he gives it 4 out of 10 scars. This is from Nancy E. Barr from Southern California. I was the production coordinator on this pilot. They went through many for the part of Brandon's father and chose David at long last. When Brandon walked into my office, I told him he had his dad's eyes. Also worked on Green Hornet, one of our ABC shows. I think, was it Bruce Lee in the Green Hornet?
Might have been.
And we were on the same lot with many Fox shows at that time. GH was my fave, Green Hornet. Bruce Lee and I lunched almost daily, and I told him I had met him when he was a baby. Sure loved hearing that. Super nice young man. He hung out in our production offices a lot.
Brandon or Bruce?
I think they're talking about Brandon at this point.
Okay.
I told him he could not ride his motorcycle because of insurance purposes, but I bet he did. He was just lovely, as was his dad. Was not the tease to me as Bruce was. Perhaps because I was his mother's age or so, but polite.
So you say this lady is saying that Bruce Lee hit on her.
He's lovely. She says he's not the tease.
He's not the tease his dad was.
Right.
So that's telling me that his dad, Bruce Lee, hit on her all the time.
Yeah, he was macking out. But polite and so enjoyed being part of the project. I was shocked and aghast when I heard about the idiot prop man who screwed up royally with the prop gun. And when you aim it at someone, you never aim it at them, just in case. So a lot of errors there. Talking about the death of Brandon Lee. But I agree, it was not the best script / film done, obviously, or it might have been sold. But I so enjoyed working with the cast and crew on this particular show.
This woman loves her job.
This woman loves her job.
You know what? I got to give her a high five for that.
Thanks, Nancy Eber. I'll see you on
at
Twitter.
The movies.
At the movies. About Foo. 3 out of 10 scars by Laura Lee. I have seen little from that pilot, and I never wanted to see more. No wonder nobody wanted to buy it. Brandon Lee is the only things to watch in it anyway. There's no content, no connection, nothing. Many people complain the sequel, The Legend Continues, did not have real martial artists. Well, apparently, it doesn't work that well with martial artists either. I'm really, really glad they decided to opt for hiring pure actors for Kung Fu The Legend Continues. If they had martial artists, they'd end up making yet another martial arts series / film. The series have their imperfections, of course, but if there's anything perfect in them, it was the flawless acting of David Keridean and Chris Potter and the amazing bod they had on and off screen.
Jeez.
They think they have a different body off screen?
That's weird.
Thanks, Laura.
Should be Bond. Could be Bond on and off screen.
It could be.
Yeah. Bruce Lee, Brandon Lee didn't do very much in martial arts in this. I was disappointed.
Yeah, me too.
He didn't really in The Crow, did he? He did more in The Crow.
He did more than The Crow?
No, did he do more karate in The Crow?
I don't think so.
There's more fight scenes.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty horrible movie, 2 out of 10 scars from Rebel Jen from Bath, England. It's been a long time ago since I saw this on television. It was one of those television movies that you feel you want to watch because you watch the television series that it's based on. For a while, Kung Fu was very cool. So they produced these movies for television about it in the late 80s. None of the movies are particularly any good. There's a lot of Kung Fu action and a pretty bad plot to follow. This one was just dull, and I don't remember much about it. It stumps me as to why they bother making a full-length television film with a bad script. I don't remember much about it now, but I remember that it was very dull, and to sit through really did flog the advertising for it on television.
It was slow.
Yeah, it was slow, and it's coming through here.
Right.
The other guy gives it 1 out of 10 scars. Someone else says Brandon Lee's the only reason to see this. You know what?
Brandon was not that good in this.
He wasn't great. I mean, unless you liked his abs, which I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
So much information.
A lot of information.
So much time.
Time while you punish
The
me.
show is built on the back of his songs.
Time while you punish me.
Hootie and the Blowfish?
Yeah.
Now, what are the Blowfish doing these days?
Playing golf.
Yeah. Yeah, with Dan Marino.
Yeah. And they're just, they have an outing once a year, and they just sit around and
Chat about the good days?
chat about the days before the Black Hootie left the group and went to be a country singer.
Hootie-hoo! What was your favorite Hootie the Blowfish song?
I never really got into them.
No. Remember that song, Hold My Hand?
Hold my hand. You got to hold my hand.
Yeah.
It's just douche 90s rock.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly. You nailed it. This is not from the 90s, though. This is from 1987, and now we must rate it.
Okay.
Now we must take everything we've learned this evening and culminate it into a number. Taken from the classic television show from the 1990s, Wings. We have 7 characters, 7 main people on that show, all given a number to represent the good and the bad.
And the ugly.
That's exactly right.
I've interrupted you like 3 times. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Number 1.
Sorry.
Number 1. The worst you can get.
Roy Biggins.
There's nothing. That's the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
You know, when you take a pickle barrel, you flip it over, all the pickles come spilling out, and you flip it back over. What's at the bottom? Roy Biggins.
Yep, exactly.
Greasy, slimy,
Ugh,
stinky,
just good for nothing.
This is the worst you could possibly do.
Okay. What's number 7?
Brian Hackett.
Oh, yeah, the man.
Johnny Cool, right? Bomber jacket, hair flowing in the wind, getting on that plane, going wherever his heart desires. That's the best you're going to get. Not a lot of 7s out there.
But not a lot of 7s. But it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Captain Philip, rest assured, as I so often have in the past, I turn to you. How do you rate Kung Fu, The Next Generation?
Black, I'm going to have to give this a 2.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there was no Kung Fu. Besides Brandon Lee's chest, it just drug on. There was, it didn't get intense at all, really.
Yeah. The promise of Kung Fu is heavy in the air, and what a disappointment, right?
Right.
What a disappointment. I'm going to do you one higher. I'm going to give this a 3. This is far from the worst thing I've seen. It has entertainment value. I think if you were a fan of the series, this maybe the tone of the show, maybe some of the morals, maybe that would hit home with you.
Right.
Maybe you feel like you're revisiting an old friend.
Sure.
And, Brandon Lee, right? The son of legendary Bruce Lee. That carries some weight.
Yeah.
I think there were some things about this that are redeemable, but overall, it was a little slow.
It was slow.
And the
It was
lack of
dry.
Kung Fu action really does hurt it for me. This is a solid 3.
All right.
I don't recommend watching it or wasting your time on this one.
I wouldn't, because it's 47 minutes. It's 47 minutes. If it was a 27 or 22 minute, I'd say yeah, but
This is usually where I tell you we're not going to talk about this anymore, but that's not what we're going to do. Right now, we're going to go back to my show notes at the very end, where that delightful black couple from CBS Summer Playhouse said, call the show at this number if you like it, and call this at this number if you don't like it. We're going to call one of the numbers right now.
Do you want to hook it up to your phone?
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Actually, your phone's right there. Why don't you do it?
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the number.
Hold on.
So yeah, a couple different numbers. You will pay the 50-cent charge if that still exists.
I will?
Yes, you will.
Me.
I'll pay you back. Pay you back in friendship.
Your friendship is worth more than 50 cents.
As some would say.
About 350.
So
350.
I would say this is below a 4. You and I did not care for this show.
No.
So let's call the number 1-900.
Go to this. So 1-900?
Yep.
Okay.
220.
220.
2322. And let's tell the good people at CBS, maybe Les Moonves, that we do not care for Kung Fu The Next Generation.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
Oh,
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. Announcement for
location 2075050.
Well, I think now they have a piece of our mind. Let's try the other number just for good measure.
All right, hold on. I got something going on with my everything in my life. 1-900
220
220
2311.
2311.
And this is if you like it, which we do not.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Ugh.
Please check the...
You think they would at least keep it open for a little bit.
Yeah, for like a couple decades.
Right.
And with that, there's 30 years it's been.
Man.
Criminy. We close the book on Kung Fu The Next Generation, never to be mentioned again.
Ever.
But we're not done. There are more pilots out there. There are more, I really do more and more. I think we're like the Pete's Dragon of failed TV shows. We just move on to the next one. We help one out.
Right. We do what we can.
Mm-hmm.
Some people watch it, and we give it that last breath.
Yep. Join us next time, won't you, when we watch the pilot episode of The Solar Knots. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. In a future where we have colonized the solar system, the Solar Knots are a special force dedicated to keeping us safe from alien threats. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots on iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or download the Daily Motion app, and you know what to do, Tube. No,
that's not right.
Shit.
You hit something about an ocean.
Or download Billy app. Billy app. Download the Daily Motion app, and you know what to Billy Ocean.
I love it.
That's right. Oh, you love it? Okay, I'm sticking with that.
All right.
So many ways to contact the show. I know we touched on.
Use the Daily Motion app. Don't use the website.
Yep. Daily Motion is a website. It's a very flawed website.
Mm-hmm.
So much great information. A lot of failed pilots on there. But the best way to watch it is by downloading the app. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a sponsor.
No,
we're just a big fan.
I contacted them. They never contacted me back.
Did they contact you back in German or something?
Just to say that they were going to contact me back.
Fair enough. Yeah, so, we're on Gmail. We've got a website, CouchPilotSPodcast.com. I think that's the one-stop shop.
Sure.
Are we a part of the FCF network, and can you find us there?
Damn
sure.
right.
Absolutely. We're very proud to be so. But also, if you go to CouchPilotSPodcast.com, all of our social media platforms are right there in front of you.
All the links, RSS feed, everything is there.
Yep.
You can actually search. You can actually do a search on there.
I have done that yet.
Yeah, you can, and it has archives, so you can go back to each month, to go back.
Back to back?
Back to back. Also, you can also send us an email from that website, so you don't even have to go to your server.
You literally have to do almost nothing. We've done it all for you.
And we're asking you, just do a little bit of nothing.
Yeah. Call us, 910-PILOTS-1. You get to hear your voice on this show.
Always entertaining.
You want to hear your voice, right?
Right.
That's 910-745-6871. Captain, rest assured, anything else you'd like to say to the frequent flyers today before we go?
Not really. Just, if you enjoyed this episode, just know that we are not on our normal plane.
Yeah.
We're on a boat with water creeping toward us as we speak.
We're probably going to die.
This
is probably the last episode.
Right. But subscribe on iTunes. Rate us on iTunes. Leave us a rating. So, just so something to do with algorithms of iTunes or whatever. We'd like to see our show get up there where other people can see it.
Absolutely. And with that, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
You're cool.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.